Welcome. These will be my thoughts on M.O.D.O.K. Season 1, Episode 8. Oh, a blood thicker than robot juice. The episode is rated CVMA, so this will be. There will be spoilers for these first 8 episodes. Possibly other Marvel stuff, we'll see. And yeah, I continue to fucking love this show. I don't know, I guess it's not impossible that one of the last 2 episodes, maybe even both, are gonna be duds in my opinion, but so far I am still fucking loving this. So let's get right into the more or less chronological. So yeah, I don't know. I really should have seen it coming, but yeah, of course, that's not really Jodie. It's a robot. It's a Joe bot. Jodie bot. And yeah, this whole thing of how it's just like perfect for him. I love the thing about the fucking, he's lying there thinking, was that just a dream? And then she responds, she heard, like we heard, so she heard, it's that thing. It felt very like Simpsons, South Park, that kind of thing of like calling attention to the, I guess more Simpsons than South Park. Anyway, the cinematic shorthand, and yeah, I agree, M.O.D.O.K. Why the fuck do you have a brain wave verbalizer? Why would you ever need that? Yeah, classic thing of like, comic book mad scientist, thinking of something where it's like, why? And the 32 sausages and a healthy helping of lard. And, afterwards, it's like, well, we had breakfast, but what about second breakfast? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. And, let's see, I think yeah, and I also like the joke about how, it wasn't a dream that they had sex, but the Charles Barkley thing, that was a dream. Just he had to mix in something, because it's like, as soon as you hear that, it's like, yeah, I think that was probably a dream, though. And yeah, genuinely clever. The camera pulls out because it doesn't want to. We know there's no more M.O.D.O.K. after this, so its pull-out game is not weak. And we see the family, strapped to the chairs. And yeah, like that genuinely is, it's simultaneously this thing of like that would be a really effective revenge. He's hurting the family by showing them firsthand. M.O.D.O.K. doesn't even notice. Like he just wants you to be these perfect, yeah, or what he would think of as perfect, And let's see. I guess that brings us to the part with the but yeah, it's a mix of that and also something that like a comic book villain would think of. God, I fucking love comic book media. And yeah, because like it does require robots, and yeah, I think that's yeah. The thing about like the well, one of you said M.O.D.O.K, so yeah, that's accurate. And the yeah, the thing about like, okay, I made these robots, but I got a little help. And, Super Adaptoid walks in, and they don't even fucking remember his name. Like, Jesus Christ. That's gotta sting. And then he's like, can we move up the timetable on our plans for them? Oh, you hadn't already told... I'm sorry, I assumed you had told them. And the, yeah, the thing about, like, oh, Roomba, they're more excited about seeing the Roomba on the CCTV than seeing the Super Adaptoid in person and having been betrayed. And I mean, by the end of the episode, they say, well, you betray us all the time. So, maybe that wasn't the most, which is also such a wonderfully, like, why would you Why would you still keep it around if it betrays you all the time and it's this powerful? Like, okay, it was more dangerous because of younger M.O.D.O.K and Arcade, but like, it's still dangerous. So yeah, and I didn't realize I needed to see M.O.D.O.K eating from the Roomba. That's something like that's a new low, even for fucking M.O.D.O.K. That's so unbelievably disgusting. I guess if he like if not for the breakfast leaving him all tuckered out, he'd just be on the ground licking the fucking floor. Like, god damn it. He really has just no fucking dignity on this show, and I'm here for it. And I think, yeah, the thing about like, okay, so we set up these, needles. And, the thing about like, it's actually much harder to make the move this slow instead of fast. And later there's the thing about like, those needles will kill us any moment now or a very long time. I can't really figure out the speed of them. And that's also like fucking James Bond shit. Like, Jesus Christ. To quote a a character not on this show, but the okay, I'm just gonna double check so I don't make a complete ass of myself. The what the fuck? I could have sworn. Okay, I'm just gonna. Maybe it's time to bail on the. Okay, there we go. Yeah. To quote a Seth Green character who does not appear on this show. I have a gun in my room right now. I'll go get it. We'll kill them together. And and yes, I appreciate it. I'm not sure if Seth Green actually plays a character on this, but he worked on it. Anyway, I think that pretty much gets us to, yeah, and the thing about like, oh, we're gonna make a band together, and it's the M.O.D.O.K family featuring M.O.D.O.K. Jesus Christ. And it's this like fucking bubblegum pop song. Oh my god. I don't know. I think I just have a soft spot for like this weird dictator, fascist character who wants to conquer the world, but also really likes this really soft shit that's just like, oh my god. Like, Jesus Christ, at least play something more like intense music, even if you're going to have a family band, which is already a really corny thing for someone like that. But, Dark Helmet also, it's been so long since I watched that movie. I'm not making any excuses for it. I'm not sure it aged well, but yeah, that's another character that fits that archetype. And yeah, the thing about like, oh, we'll use the Roomba, and yeah, the Wi-Fi and yeah, the thing about like throwing the shoe. Honestly, I was half expecting, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that the hitting you with the shoe was an accident." I thought she was gonna, purposefully hit him with the second one and then be like, "That one was on purpose" or something. But yeah, and genuinely clever at this thing of like having it do this stunt move. Not entirely sure how it got back up the stairs, but okay. And it swallowed a bunch of marbles and spells out robots, and M.O.D.O.K is just about to lean, and then Jodie steps on it, but then she falls on the fucking. That's genuinely clever. I didn't see that coming. Somehow, I did not realize that she was gonna, because that's what happens. That's especially in cartoons. People slipping on. I literally just said the fucking word. Okay, I think you know where I'm going with that. Anyway, my fucking short-term memory. Goddamn. Anyway, yes. So let's see. We have the part where, yeah, and so he's like, "Huh, you're really eating shit." Well, it's nice that you show such concern for the love of your life that you're so happy to be back with Jesus fucking Christ, And she gets up and, she Yeah, I appreciate that they made it all Terminator-y. That was always fond of when that, and it's not exactly the only Marvel property to really invoke the Terminator there. Talking about Ultron. And the, let's see, I think, yeah, and he just, like, puts the face back on. And yeah, like, genuinely, I guess we and his family also don't know M.O.D.O.K that well, because, like, he was just acting. You know, he was pretending to be okay with it because he understood someone's probably watching. I have to hide this. Yeah, genuinely very clever. And I guess that pretty much gets us to the. Yeah, I appreciated them discussing strategy, and poor Lou, he just wants to be special in some way that is, he's like, do I have superpowers? Pineal gland. It's got to be that one, right? I am not the only person who appreciated that they specifically had, it's the word that, so when a robot glitches in this episode, it will repeat the same word or part of a word over and over. They were careful to choose to have M.O.D.O.K start to say happy, or the Mobot start to say happiness, so that the word he keeps repeating over and over is penis. That was, yeah, very, very silly. And let's see. Right, I like the thing about, young M.O.D.O.K being like, I was supposed to, be bigger. I also was supposed to marry Mina Savari. And then he goes off on like, yeah, you're not better than her because unlike you, she was in American Beauty and American Pie and the lesser known, possibly something I just made up, spin-off that combines the two called Beauty Pie, which also, like, yeah, I 100% believe that M.O.D.O.K in the year 2021 would still be like, oh, wow, American Beauty, like, fucking Jesus Christ. I think Renegade Cut said what I would be saying about that movie, so I will just direct you to, I'm pretty sure it was him. Sometimes I mix shit up. Anyway, and yeah, the part where they're discussing, and yeah, Melissa suggests maybe, seduce him, and she points out how unhealthy this is, and Lou just sitting there like, my hands are tied, so I can't cover my ears. Why don't ears have eyelids? And let's see, the and yeah, like, genuinely, it's very credible that, yeah, Melissa was not comfortable with Jodie dating so soon after M.O.D.O.K. That is part of the problem, but she is also upset that she was using Wonder Man. And the thing about, like, don't apologize to mom. She gave you peanut allergy, And I guess that pretty much covers the. Yeah. So the Mobot comes in singing this unbelievably corny fucking song, and there's like, okay, as a family, we have to focus and find out a way to get these needles into us faster. There are worse things than death. And the yeah, they realize that he was a robot, and he's coming to save them. He brings the needles back away from them, and let's see. I guess that's when yeah, it was genuinely clever, that thing about, well, anyone in this room would definitely know if one of us was a robot, and then, they arrive, and yeah, all three families, there's only one member of each that's the real one, and the others are robots, and they're the Philip K. Dick brand who think that they are human and possibly explode when you convince them to try to prove it. I know for a fact that this episode was at least partially a love letter to at least some Philip K. Dick media, because prepare for a big surprise. That's a fucking Arnie Total Recall reference right there, and I'm fucking loving it. God damn, that was amazing. And he's got the voice for it too. Like, a lot of people wouldn't be able to quite. His voice already has some of the qualities of that particular. Yeah, I gotta fucking watch that movie again. God damn, that was. If I hadn't already done a video on it, one would be on the schedule for soon. Anyway, I think that brings us to the it's very clever with the thing about right, Arcade is here, and they and the taunting, and then Super Adaptar is like, can I say something too? Well, I'm sorry, dude, but if you have to ask, I think the answer might be fuck no. Like, God damn, take some initiative, Jesus. And yeah, young M.O.D.O.K is like, I don't need you anymore. And Super Adaptar is like, oh, where have I heard that before? Yeah, why did you think this M.O.D.O.K was going to treat you better than the other one? Like, what the fuck? And the Alan Tudyk fucking nailing it as Arcade. God, I hope he was having as much fun as he sounded like he was. Just I mean, in case you've forgotten, like, Alan Tudyk capable of much more subtle performances than this one. He's not someone who just like exclusively plays campy villains like this. Like, motherfucker, dude stepped right out of like the 1960s Adam West Batman show or something. God damn. And the this is my favorite part where I explain the rules in excruciating detail. Yeah, that sounds like a comic book villain to me. I don't even know Arcade at all, but that's 100% like, this was a comic, there'd be a wall of text of him just explaining all this shit. And the thing about, okay, so everybody grab hold of the family you are with, which is a clever, that'll help illuminate, but then, the giant pinballs come in. And the thing about, like, well, we were going to use giant flippers, I guess. Flip you to death? Was that the plan? But again, I don't remember if I've seen that exact thing, but there are comic books where it would be something like that, something so fucking ridiculous, because it is this thing, like, a bunch of comics, they gotta just sell issues, so they would take something that young people, depending on what decade of the comics are being sold in, maybe children, maybe teenagers, something they already love, and just have that. So, like a giant pinball machine, during the times where pinball machines were huge. Yeah, like 100% that would be, yeah. I think that might bring us to the, I really like that Melissa just immediately stabs the other ones, and the thing about, like, what if, one of them were the real one, and yeah, she's like, oh no, am I the robot? Did I just kill the real Melissa? Oh shit, never mind. Here's the chip. Were they meant to look so much like fucking floppy disks? Because I kind of love the idea that a robot that fucking advanced would run on a goddamn floppy. That's amazing. Holy shit. You know what, Arcade? I think you might be one of the best robot makers, like, I don't know, maybe they're just for show, I guess that's not impossible, but yeah, also the fact, because we don't know that the robots bleed like that until, like, there were a couple of seconds there where I was like, I'm not sure those were robots. I think he made a teleport / cloning machine, and any second now, he's going to have to compete with another professional. I gotta keep this vague because I don't want to give that movie's twist away, because it's fucking amazing. Like, my mind was blown the first time I watched that. I think you know where I'm going with that. Anyway, if you've already watched the movie, and if not, I certainly hope you didn't just realize the fuck movie I'm talking about. Anyway, the let's see. Yeah, the thing about how the M.O.D.O.Ks, they have perfect recall, but they also they give the right answer, and M.O.D.O.K didn't, Oh my god. And let's see. Yeah, so he kills a Joe-bot. Let's see. No, yeah. He killed a Joe-bot for the... Yeah, he said he's right for the wrong reason or something like that. And then, the two M.O.B.O.Ts. Yeah, and yeah, they just can't quite bring themselves right. Oh my god, the thing with Lou, one of them just runs over and grabs weapon, ends up killing himself, and M.O.D.O.K is like, okay, so that's one Lou bot down. Lou, you're banned from the weapons. No fair. And at this point, I think is it Arcade or it's one of the three villains is like, what's wrong with him though? Like, what is, like, holy shit, kid, you literally just saw a robot clone fucking die, and you're whining that you don't get to do the thing that got it killed. Like, wow. And yeah, they agree that they don't want to. He's doing I think, is it called? No, it's not called the worm. Snake? I don't remember what that dance is called, but he's doing that, and they're like, you know what? I think I like having two Lous. And it is also, I mean, yeah, he's needed friends for all these episodes, so I think that might be the best solution. I mean, this one isn't still evil, right? That was only when they were being used to... Anyway, that was also great. The part where we see the robots, like, turned off because M.O.D.O.K isn't in the room. And I think the... I like how appropriately disgusting it was when, at one point M.O.D.O.K is like, okay, so I'm going to need that soundproof bathroom now. And then Joe-Bot starts saying, it's so sexy how you know what you want. That was funny. That got to me. And let's see, I guess that does pretty much cover the... Oh, right, I have to think about how, one of the things young M.O.D.O.K hates about Melissa is that she ice skates. Inliners is the way to go. The whole world is your rink. And I think that brings us to... Yeah, so yeah, they agree, they're not going to kill, the remaining Lou bot. And, young... Yeah, M.O.D.O.K is like, well, we'll just kill you then. And then M.O.D.O.K is like, there's 15 minutes left on the timer. Do we just wait it out? And M.O.D.O.K is like, sure. And yeah, of course he manages to convince, because of course Arcade is like, this is, he I forget exactly what it was he said, but there was some kind of, or maybe it's only after, but yeah, M.O.D.O.K, he knows, he is perhaps getting to a point where he knows himself a little bit better. So he realizes, oh, and also he's using what Melissa taught him, find the weakness and use that. Right, because you need Arcade to kill us. Like, you can't do it yourself. That'll get a M.O.D.O.K of, I mean, shit, that would have worked on the M.O.D.O.K that we've been following in most of the show, just, like, not that many episodes ago, And, genuinely clever, this thing. Like, I did think, oh, adult M.O.D.O.K is gonna fuck up college M.O.D.O.K, but no, because, like, yeah, M.O.D.O.K has been planning this for some time now. And also the thing about, like, don't you want to know what my deal is? Well, I mean, you got the rocks from the time stone. I fuck around with time travel all the time. I really appreciate how much it is undermined. Like the villains think that they're gonna get, that really, the well, not heroes, but the people they're trying to kill, the M.O.D.O.Ks, are gonna be like, no, but instead they're just like, huh? And I guess that pretty much, yeah. Jodie jumping on him and fucking tearing him apart. Jesus Christ. And she takes out the part and has Melissa try to fix, and that's genuinely clever because again, we're building on these emotional arcs that they're going through, character arcs. It's not that many episodes ago, Melissa might have let him die and been like, oh, there's nothing I could do. I mean, how would they know? But yeah, like they've really come to care about each other. And yeah, Lou or the Lou bot being like, look, I'm mom, and tearing apart the lobster, I think it is. And yeah, the thing about, Super Adaptoid shows up. Okay, so you left too fast for, you left the layer too fast for me to, so I just wanted to say, okay, why, I betrayed you. Can we just, get over it? And they're like, he betrays all the time. We just have to reset you. Because he's just a fucking appliance, to them at least. And, comes back, are you going to betray us? What? No. Can I have some seafood? No. You'll pay for this. And, so again, we have the classic sitcom ending of no lesson was learned. And I think that might just about bring us to that. Yeah, I like when Arcade flies off as like, I'm a robot too. Psych, as Jesus fucking Christ. And I think that might be... But yeah, like genuinely clever, this thing of like, yeah, I mean, essentially all three of M.O.D.O.K's family members were in separate rooms with robot clones of the family members, and all of them were watching the screen at the same time, which I guess also means that all of them managed to escape at the exact same time. Some of these robots are really fucking accurate if they all had the exact same interactions. Like, and that's again just wonderful comic book silliness. Like, it was already like ridiculously overcomplicated before that twist. But yeah, I really appreciated, again, this thing of like, there's the heartfelt family drama, but also a lot of jokes, and you've got the comic book over the top stuff, and yeah. I was a tiny bit surprised that it was already, but I mean, for the last two episodes, they do still have Austin, and what was it called? The Living Corporation? Something like that. Yeah. I don't think I've recommended a YouTube video yet. I mean, I guess it's somewhat appropriate to bring up something that has to do with, like, robots. The Rowan Ellis video. I think it's currently called something like, Would You Kick a Robot Dog? And yeah, fantastic, as usual. She's great. Yeah, I think that might just about... So yeah, basically, like, ultimately, the evil plan here failed. The petulant, immature, frankly self-sabotaging, terrible person who, runs this zero-sum game of just trying to hurt other people, sending out these minions to do his dirty work, and ultimately they're just like these soulless machines, and once people realize, they start fighting back. And I don't know, I guess I just hope that this reflects ICE as much as it seems to right now.